I am personally privileged to be part of this wonderful panel. Very rich content so far. I've been listening. And again, thank you all the audience and all the panelists to give me a few minutes of your time to present CoreStack. As you know, Ron has mentioned, we are a multi-cloud governance platform. Today, though, my focus is going to be around compliance. And what a fantastic way to go after Checkpoint. So, very nicely set the stage for me. I am going to shut my video off now so that we can focus more on the slides. And Ron, just let me know if you're able to see the presentation. Just say yes once again, because my video is off. But
great.
Okay, perfect. So I am Parul Chera. I head the alliances for CoreStack. It's a Seattle startup headquartered out of Seattle. I am in Seattle. And as a part of my role, I work very closely with hyperscalers and very closely so with AWS. Today, we are going to talk about cloud compliance at scale. And as I said, I'm so privileged to be going at this time because a lot of the stage has been already established as to why do we need, what do we need, and what are the different things that hyperscalers are already doing. So let me get straight to the presentation. Quickly, agenda, we'll briefly talk about the challenges. Probably most all of you have heard multiple times. Analysts have said it again and again, and enterprise users are already feeling it. We'll talk about how to overcome it in 1, 2, 3 steps. What is CoreStack's AC3 framework? And we'll talk about enterprise cloud compliance. That's our package name. And how do we integrate? Not necessarily I'm going to go into the technical side of it, but how do you go to marketplace and how do you actually leverage the power of marketplace and CoreStack together, and summarizing some of our values. So with that, as we are hearing, talking, there are more and more workloads, critical business workloads go to cloud, which is great. The cloud compliance requirements are rigorous, more nebulous. But what is happening is there are insufficient ways to manage them, right? They're still obsolete. A lot of it is manual. These are all compliance. We're talking about could be industry-based compliance, could be compliances pertaining to your company, could be compliance pertaining to your org within the company. There's lack of comprehensive visibility around resources. At the heart lies the resources, right? Whether you are talking about security, cost, compliance, access, what are we talking? All of these attributes are at the heart as resources. So how are these resources creating the challenges for teams, right? In terms of inadequate access, no real-time visibility into the security postures, because there's so much of dynamism in cloud. So the very fact that we adopt or we are embracing the cloud adoption is actually creating the problems or the issues or the challenges for future. But the way we look at it, CoreStack, these are our opportunity to help end customer, work with hyperscalers such as AWS, and make it so that end customers feel confident to not only just start their cloud journey, but really go with the confidence to adopt quicker, faster move workloads. With these challenges, I always like it, hey, can I solve the problem? People talk about challenges, people talk about issues, maybe today's, tomorrow's, but what do we give it to the customer today? Problem solved in literally 3 steps. Onboard cloud accounts, and this is so I'm sure most enterprises, probably dream. Can I just onboard all my accounts and just set my guardrails for my guidelines, and I just sit back, relax, and see is it continuously assessing what I have set it for. Even though in the future there are new resources being consumed under that account or org, can it still adhere to the framework that has been established? And can I get my proactive or reactive measures done? Boom. Yes, you can do that, right? CoreStack has a product called Enterprise Cloud Compliance. It is set with a unique framework that we have created called AC3, which is Abstracted Cloud Compliance Controls. And currently, we are a multi-cloud, so we support AWS, Azure, and Google. And I'll just dive a little bit deeper into what it means. There are 4 pillars. It's very nice when as I said, I'm following some of the fantastic speakers and how they've articulated these 4 or 5 pillars. In the cloud compliance, we look at 4 pillars. The first one being compliance assessment and posture management. I'll just double click quickly on each one of those 4 pillars. So compliance assessment and posture management, what does it mean? There are so many different policies, so many different compliance, industry compliance standards. So what we have done at CoreStack, right? We have built and we are continuously going to build, right? This compliance tiles or compliance postures, compliance buckets, be it CIS, be it AWS WellArchitect framework. We have ISOs, we have FedRAMP. So these are the bucketed compliance tiles per se, if I would say, right? Set it up for each and every account that when you onboard it once, and it will continue to assess all your resources that are consumed under that. Assess once, cover multiple standards, or assess continuously, however you want to do it. Support various standards and regulations such as FedRAMP, NIST, PCIs, WAF, HIPAA. Automate compliance assessment. You can automate it, you can schedule it. Add custom controls. And when you look at our product in depth, you'll see, and I think Checkpoint showed very nicely, and we can take it extensively into that. I for certain departments or orgs or my company as a whole, I want to adhere to a compliance standard called FedRAMP Moderate, but I also want to add additional controls because this particular developer teams or this particular tenant needs additional compliance standard being added to that FedRAMP. Can I do it? Absolutely. So you can actually create your own controls and add it to the bucket. If I go back to the next pillar, which is, we call it security and posture management. Compliance, security, compliance, if you look at, sometimes people talk at an Uber level as an umbrella, security becomes subset. We look at, they are really very much required both, right? So the way we look at security posture is security postures and insights. We integrate with hyperscalers, like, an AWS Inspector is a fantastic tool. And I'll show you a little bit that how do we further enhance the value for the enterprise customers to consume AWS Inspectors or the similar services that AWS has is faster, sooner, and at a greater depth. Security violations are being shown, incidents from cloud native services, security policy violations, vulnerability, and this is a continuously going on. It's in an automated mode. People don't have to do it. You just wire it once and it just does it magic all the time. You actually also, we integrate with a third-party configuration systems like Nessus and pull data from there. And the DevOps to SecOps, we actually manage the entire workflow through CoreStack. So soup to nut is what you can achieve through CoreStack when it comes to security or compliance. Or the next is within the pillar called inventory. Very quickly, you can have a quick view of your dynamically all the inventories that you're consuming under those accounts. And because we are multi-cloud, it's one single pane for AWS, Azure, GCP for today. And also monitor and view all your compliances postures at the resource level. I think it is very important. Most of these hyperscalers do a fantastic job into really developing newer services faster, quicker. Where we take is we take that and amplify further for our customers, our enterprise customers, to use them down to the granularity. And here resource becomes at the bottom level. The fourth pillar we can say is access. We've all heard awful examples, again, but I would highlight here is, such as breaches, security breaches, Capital One. Again, sad it happened, but it happened. And there are vulnerability and security hacks, as we speak, I'm sure are happening. A lot of them are attributed to how are you managing your accesses? Do we have the visibility around your accesses to those resources? So with CoreStack, you further, with the hyperscalers such as AWS, there are fantastic features that they've built. We further wire it up for the customer enterprise customer being, we can extend to that. So you bring it down to user accessibility and audit for your IAM best practices, access utilization, user activity report, right? You want to make sure, are we really, the users who have we've been given accesses to certain resources, are they really using it? Do we need it? In this now, the hidden benefit is also cost. You're able to optimize cost because, hey, the users ask for this, but they're not using it. The resources are underutilized or, just sitting idle or maybe orphaned. So at the heart again is resources where all of these attributes can play wonderful path or wonderful ways if you're able to manage them or govern them effectively. Again, access violation, unauthorized access. Again, I won't bring it up, but Capital One is a sad but an apt example here how certain things can be averted. And CoreStack does that for enterprise customers. Now, how we do it, I'll just quickly dive into this. Excuse me. So this is our converged policy framework, right? We have all these different compliance standards. They are abstracted at the control level. There are compliance controls, and they're mapped to various policies. And here we have the policy execution engine that CoreStack has created. You can schedule some of this policies to run, or they're also event-based, or you can do both. And what it means is you are able to proactively or reactively act on the events. So either you want to be just alerted, or you don't want certain behavior happen at all. You can do both. And that's where CoreStack comes in the picture. And through our converged policy framework, our enterprise are able to set the guardrail. Those are apt, so relevant, I would say, for their organizations, their companies, their customers. A real quick example, how we help faster consumption of AWS services. I briefly mentioned about AWS Inspector because we are talking about right now, let's say, compliance or security. So while AWS Inspector does a phenomenal job, and some of the speaker did highlight, and most of you might be using it, what CoreStack does is further automates the assessment configuration at the instance level. CoreStack Vulnerability Analytics provides consolidated view of vulnerability across the various resources and provides insights on the vulnerability. CoreStack Governance Assessment identifies resources that are not configured, right, through the AWS Inspector. So now we've gone beyond that and we kind of pull them in together. So it's just a simple example, but because we are a multi-cloud governance platform and we go beyond just the compliance, there are many other services that we actually integrate with AWS to give better value to our end customer. A quick case study, I would bring it up here, Examity. It's one of the world's leading online proctoring solution. And with pandemic, unfortunate it is, most of the universities going online or a lot of interviews conducted online. Examity saw a huge uptake in their demand in terms of their solution. And it kind of, they are AWS customers, so it kind of, the cost went up for them pretty fast. And the lack of cloud visibility was a big challenge for them, and insufficient security, because all of these things were happening together very fast for them. Well, it was good for the business, but they were clearly looking for some help. This is where CoreStack came in help along with the partner AWS, and we created through CoreStack. The solution was that they had a single pane of glass through the entire estates or resources, with key operational matrix around their various resources, pardon me. And with that, one of the biggest outcome was for them, which actually helped further their confidence, was their cost impact. They saw the costs were going up and they were kind of thinking, hey, should we be moving? And because the way we help through CoreStack's autonomous governance, they were able to optimize their cost where they were spending, and hence that actually give them the confidence of actually 40% reduction of cost, gave them the confidence to move more of their workloads from on-prem to cloud. And the cloud security was also at heart because you are talking about sensitive data, students, employees, future employees. So with CoreStack, we were able to give them that confidence as well. So AWS and CoreStack work fantastically here to create this great case study for Examity, where they were not only able to move to cloud quicker, faster, but move with the confidence and grew, and thus help our students, our online interviews conduct more securely and efficiently. I actually wanted to go online to show, but I was not sure if my flip-flop is going to change. But here's how you can go to AWS Marketplace, and if I have time after because I want to finish the presentation and I'll show you, but just a snapshot of AWS Marketplace, and then if you just type cloud compliance or maybe cloud governance, also you'll see CoreStack right there, and maybe just go click on the CoreStack, and then you have a free trial as well. You're welcome to try that out and experience how you can gain values such as Examity has seen, or many of our other 100+ customers are seeing day in, day out. If I have to summarize, ECC being enterprise, our product, enterprise cloud compliance, assess once and get postures for multiple standard, service level compliance postures across standards, provide delta for one standard to another to achieve compliance 3x times faster. And again, I will say that we are a multi-cloud, so you're able to see that across all the 3 clouds, or if you have more than 1 cloud, and reduce compliance costs, right? Some of the costs could be immediate, but some of are hidden, such as Capital One, like lost the customer loyalty. There are penalties. You can avoid all of this upfront if you can through this through CoreStack and working with hyperscalers. Some of our customers have or we have delivered, and that's why the confidence number bring down the cloud cost as low as 50%. Bring in the efficiency, operational efficiencies up to 40%. 100% cloud compliance because it's an autonomous, continuous AI-powered cloud governance platform, which offers the cloud compliance in a similar way, and really reducing down to your cost. Sorry, that was a certification. Just a few recognition and partnerships. We have been, highlighted by Gartner multiple times. It's a young company. When I say young, it's about 4 or 5 years old, and we're working with the bleeding edge technology partners such as AWS to kind of build and amplify the cloud services for the enterprise customers. With that, I would say thank you, and I appreciate again you giving us an opportunity to speak to you guys and hear me out.